morning.
Morning.
Congratulations, JD, and have a happy married life.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. It was a nice ceremony. Everything was going great. Everything was perfect. And like I said, there were some things that we weren't prepared for, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
What weren't you prepared for?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I don't know if you saw me a little panicked, maybe about 10 minutes before Danny, but outside we were waiting on the priest to come in, and my cousin was looking. I'll repeat it for John since he's here. But about 10 minutes before the ceremony, we were waiting for the priest. The priest wasn't there, and my cousin calls the priest to ask, "Where is he?" And the priest says, "Well, I'm in Lafayette, which Lafayette's about 2 hours away." We're
That's
like,
weird.
"The wedding's in 10 minutes." And he says, "Well, I thought it was at 3:00. I'm like, "No, it was at 1." He said, "Oh, I'm gonna call you back." And he hangs up on my cousin. And now my cousin's looking at me, he's like, "I think he's serious." So I pull my dad to the side and I'm like, "I don't think the priest is coming." And like, if you knew, like, yeah, this priest is like family to me. Like, my grandma adopted him and all that. And he, a couple minutes later, he calls my cousin back and he's like, okay, got an update. He's like, "Are you at the church?" And he said, "Well, yeah, I'm at the church. I'm waiting for you. I'm trying to find a replacement to do the ceremony." And he said, "Are you outside the church?" He said, "Yeah, I got someone coming." And he said, "Yeah." And it's him. He's in the parking lot and he does a circle around the parking lot, looking at us, pointing and laughing.
That could have been a disaster. I don't know if that's a good time for a joke like that.
Oh, wow. I was like, "Oh my goodness." I was like, "Do I have permission to be mad at a priest right now?" And he's just killing himself laughing as he was there, like.
Wow. Well, congratulations again. It was a nice ceremony, and
Thank you.
priest did a good job.
If you don't mind, can you please post your pic in just Slack general group?
Yeah, well, I was waiting on. We had a photographer that did a bunch of pictures, but she has to like touch them up and all that. But I've been getting pictures from people's phones. Actually, I got
I have one somewhere actually on my phone.
I downloaded this from Cloudinary. We got a squad pic. Y'all know which one.
Yeah.
I went with Cloudinary for this one. Yeah, I made that little website for people to upload photos to, but then someone said that he crashed it. I'm like, "How did you crash it?" He's like, "Oh no, I was trying to upload 550 photos and 32 videos." And I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, "I don't even know how you would upload it like over a cellular connection." I asked him, like, "Can I buy you a flash drive or something to get those photos?" So trying to get like 550 photos from this dude who just was taking pictures on his phone. That wasn't even the photographer.
I've got a picture too I can send you.
Awesome.
All right. Well, shall we start? Amit?
Yes, we can start. So let me update first in the weekend what I did to Jerry.
Mhm.
So Jerry, like one user sending a scrap messages inside the forever group, right, John? Danny?
Sitting.
1 minute. So Good Vibes Club, one user sending some scrap messages. So
Damn it.
Danny, mm, mm. So Danny asked me to block that user. So what I did, I will show you. So first I added his number into band number.
Okay.
Okay. Admin band number. Then I have added into 1 minute. Band member group. Band member table also have added him
Uh-huh.
and deleted him. Band member I have added him for all the groups.
Okay.
Okay.
There's
Whatever groups we
yep.
have.
What about the users table? Did you update the date band for users table?
No, that I know.
That that would have been I think what you did was kind of sufficient in a way, but the quickest way would have been to update the user's record with the date band.
I was not aware that.
That's fine. Could you send me his user key? I'll make sure that gets done. And that way we can have
Yeah,
records.
yeah, I will send it to you.
Mhm.
Just let. And okay. So then after I run that script which you have given to me. Okay. So like today I run it. Like day before yesterday and yesterday I run that script. Okay.
Mhm.
So the what the photo you have tagged.
Mhm.
I just put in a photo that script. And today I work on, I don't have another task, so I will continue writing test cases. I will commit those code.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Ahmed.
Thank you.
Yeah. Jerry, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah. This morning I went ahead and I found I forgot to add in some of the user stat calculations for games for like, for example, my friend favorited a game, but he didn't get level 2. And he didn't ask about it, but I was looking at his account and I realized, oh, you should be level 2. You favorited a game. And that was just something, an extra part in the trigger that I had to add the calculation for all the stats for games.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Good catch.
Yeah, so the job should clean up the stats when it runs, the nightly job, or I believe the weekly job it for sure.
Mhm.
So no additional cleanup I need, but that information is now fixed.
Okay.
So that's done and that is deployed into production.
Okay, great.
I went ahead and in Sentry, so because we're doing the location pinging every 5 seconds, it's causing a lot of traffic on Sentry
Hmm.
because we get logged for every mutation we run.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It was meant to stay in QA that way. Um, so what is that? What does
have-
that equate to now?
Well, I updated the backend code to not report the location pinging to Sentry.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we can discard it.
Otherwise, then is it okay functioning as is?
Yeah, it's functioning as is because I'm not doing the like the actual the push notification.
Mhm.
Like we're just logging it, but only that small list of users I have the notifications going out for.
Okay. I wouldn't say my battery is going down any faster than normal, by the way, and I'm using the app quite a bit. So maybe location services are more efficient than they used to be in the past because I feel like I mean, I didn't plug my phone in all night, for example, and I was at 30 something percent when I woke up today. And that was after using it all day yesterday. So, as long as it's not causing like slow down app side, are you seeing anything like that? Any kind of server delays or anything like that?
No, nothing from that location tracking.
Okay. I got a couple very accurate pings too, like where it asked me, would you like to check into this place or this place? And they were right on.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. One thing I noticed is I was asked twice for a place. So we could probably make it so you only ask once ever for the same place.
Should be doing like once a day, I thought.
It was the next day.
Oh, it was the next day. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think right now it's only doing it once a day.
Does it also it does know if you're already favorited, and then it doesn't ask you, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. Maybe, but we should probably put a limit on it of maybe yeah, probably just once ever. I think just to be safe.
Okay. Well, then it's just hard. It's hard to like. Maybe we could do it like once a week.
We can't. But like, let's say it's my work location. You know,
Sure.
maybe I don't want to favorite my work. Maybe I don't like working there. You know, you keep asking me every few days. So we have to have something that like limits the number, right?
Yeah.
What's the reservation?
No. If you want to maybe notify them, what if we notify them like once a day, and we maybe notify them a maximum of 3 times?
Yeah. Something like that. Maybe even maximum twice. Just because if you ask me a second time and I don't do it,
Okay.
I don't want to be asked a third time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so you got some good pings. Tori got some good pings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can always tweak this too, right? So like, I guess there's some accuracy settings currently that you have.
Right. I have like a confidence radius that tells me approximately how much, like how many meters it estimates you to be. And like I can tell you from the pings, let's see. Communication report.
I take it the suggestions that you got were accurate ones.
What was that, Ian?
The suggestions that you received were accurate ones. It didn't
Yeah.
suggest like a place next door to you or something like that.
It was correct every time, except there is a place next door to me. I'm in a residential area, and then there's like a breakfast place next door. So
Yeah.
like, but I mean, I knew
It's
which one it was
tricky.
'cause I got breakfast there already.
I noticed something this weekend. I told you Google Maps does a very similar thing.
Mhm.
And the address of a restaurant on Google was set incorrectly to a sushi place that I was actually at next door.
Hmm.
And so if you click on it, like on Google Maps, the two pins overlap each other. And I
Hmm.
think we're using that same data. So presumably, if it's wrong there, that's where we get most of that geolocation data from, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I remember the map marker on TechDU was
Yeah,
part of the parking
that's
lot.
right. That's tricky because a lot of business owners don't even pay attention. I almost wonder if maybe we could utilize that in the business owner area, is to say like, hey, you could refine
That's a
your
great.
location.
Yeah. Let me write that down. So like, if you subscribe, then we get a Latin long for you. Like, go to the center of your shop and ping.
Yeah,
And so we
right,
get a
right.
Latin long.
Yeah,
That's-
that we could help people find you easier. There's a lot of business owners who also get frustrated with Google because they're like, oh, it always sends them into the back entrance of the parking lot because Google Maps routes them this way. And if we pin them at a very specific Latin long, we could say like, oh yeah, it'll route, like at How we've had people drive into the back parking lot before. And if we were pinned just a little further up, which we finally did make the change, it routes everybody through the roundtable entrance instead of through the back entrance.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm just writing this down. Yeah, I think that's a good service to provide. The other option too is we can we can always provide a list of places, like if there's like more than one possibility. And does that happen,
Mhm.
Jerry, when you get these Latin longs? Is it like confidence of like first rank, second rank, third rank different businesses?
Right now I'm not going by any sorting. I'm just taking whatever's closest, but we could certainly do it by first, second, third rank. Uh, I
Okay. So you do get more than one location.
okay. Let me tell you how it works right now is I just take whatever's closest. I take basically all of the businesses that are near me, and I take whichever one is just closest. But that doesn't mean I could expand it to take the one that's include the one that's second closest and third.
Hmm.
It's not, it wouldn't be too hard to add a ranking system in there. But right now I'm only considering the one that is the first closest. And whenever I get the location report, I'm getting for yours this past weekend, I've received a confidence radius. It looked between 5 and 15 meters. A couple of cases it got into the 20s, but the majority of everything was in 5, 15, and like it averaged in the middle around 8 to 10.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me think about that one a little more, but that's good to know.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, and I want to just work with that whole system sometime maybe later this week and see if
Yeah,
we can get more out of it.
for sure.
Is it? It's still only notifying just a select few of us, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Cool. It might be interesting to expand that to more people and see how it is responded to.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me think about that too, because we have a lot of people in the team, and then team friends of team people. We could probably expand it out to like 20 or 30 people pretty easy. Let me think about it. So what else?
Let's see. I was just getting caught up on stuff. Wanted to see what we had coming up. I know the core flow. I think we're almost ready for the core flow. It's just that we're waiting on a business to start using it. Is that right, Ian?
Yeah, we're pretty much there. Jeff Morrow is off this week, but he got pretty much everything done on Friday. And he said if we need him throughout this week, we could reach out to him if there's any tidying up that's necessary. I'm fairly certain that we are ready to implement and test with Core based on the functions that he finished building. And I think all of our endpoints are ready. Did he give you, did you guys get to work out the details of what to show customers for tech to use specifically, whether we show them the $25 credit back to their card or the $50 credit for a future service?
Well, okay. Is this that endpoint that I made Friday?
Yeah, that was part of it.
So that right now is just a notification to come into text to you, and that's a push notification. So that's going to open up Circles right now. So I don't think we right now support any promotional text when you view a profile in the app.
No, sorry. This is for the landing page, the core landing page, because there's going to be two different versions of it. So there's the $25 credit that's a new thing, and then the $50 or sorry, $25 refund is an easier way to say it. And then the $50 credit, which is the wording that we already have now, but he's going to be passing you a different variable. And that's what I was asking is if you'd gone over that variable that he's passing you now. It's a new variable that defines what page to show the user. It doesn't sound like you guys have gone over it yet. That's okay. That's all right because it's ready for tech to you, but it really should probably get some more testing before we roll it out because it's kind of a dangerous feature. We're effectively giving people money back, depending on the flow that they go through and whether or not they were eligible to receive credits. We built a system. This is what he spent most of his time building, a system that basically dumps these users into a list that says who's eligible for a refund. And then we have to manually go through that list and verify that there's no conflicts. Like, if the person initiated a chargeback or whatever the day of the transaction, we're not going to issue them a credit back. So there's these little criteria that he and I still need to tidy up. But I thought he went over the variable with you that he was going to be passing. He's going to be changing the core URL structure that he passes. And it's just one additional variable, which is, I'm fairly certain, just a 1 or a 0. And it's included in the same, it's encrypted the same way. It's all the same, but it's just one more variable at the end of the URL.
Yeah, I'm going to get that part.
Okay, that's okay. I mean, as far as core is concerned, though, John, I just did a quick double check, and it looks like again, every single transaction for the last 4 days does not have a customer link to it for people of Sacramento.
Okay. Well, we'll work with. We have some other businesses we can work with.
Yeah, I think we might be.
Reach out to Ari. Ask him about.
I was just gonna say, I think we might want to be focusing there. It looks like she's closed over the weekends, from what I can tell, but she's still not assigning customers either. But I'll talk to him, talk with him, and I'll let him know about the lack of connection on Zane's side too.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh.
I'm 22 years old.
Don't look a day past 21.
Mario said, I don't look a day past 40. I was like, oh, come on.
I did not realize you and my husband share the same birthday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
thank you very much. Appreciate it.
On the airplane, I will have a drink for you.
All right. Yeah, I'm not drinking. I have 2 months. Yeah, 2 months left until I'm drinking again. I've gone almost a full year.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Wow. Courtney on her birthday last year was like, I'm not going to drink for a year while she was like hammered. And I was like, oh, sure. And then the next day she was like, no, I really meant it. And I was like, okay, well, it'd be really messed up for me to not participate. So I decided to do it with her. Now, like last week, she was like, I think I'm just going to not ever drink again. Like, I kind of like this. And I was like, all right, well, I'm only going to go so far.
I had some good looks at the wedding. So I don't drink. I never drink. And for our toast, we did sparkling cider.
Nice.
We did the toast, and I just like knocked it back, and I had some people like look at me. I'm like, give me another.
They're like,
Jerry
wow,
going
first time."
crazy.
Yeah.
That's so good. I order Roy Rogers at the bar, which is just a Coke and grenadine, and everybody gets a good laugh out of it. It's
Make sure you say on the rocks.
yeah, the hard stuff.
Just get a Shirley Temple. Come on.
It's a burly temple. Okay, it's
Yeah.
a man drink.
Yeah, that's why you don't order the other one. I know.
All right. So
All right.
What's funny is
I'm pulling you
once
guys
in a
off
once in a
course.
while. What's that?
I said I'm sorry. I'm pulling you guys off course.
Real quick, I'm gonna keep it off course for one moment. It's funny, Melissa doesn't drink hardly ever, and she always gets Roy Rogers. But sometimes, and I'm ordering all kinds of stuff, but the bartenders often think that she's misspeaking, or they hear her say a Rob Roy. And
Oh, very different.
different. She's like, this is not it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yep.
That's funny. All right. Well, Jerry, did you have more to add here?
How's Ayad's schedule looking today, Ian?
He is wrapping up a push. He should have a push done for Field 3 in about 20 minutes. And then after that, he is switching to Sircles for the week.
Awesome. Have him connect with me when he's done, because we're gonna knock out some of that chat ad and stuff.
Okay, yeah, I have a list for him. I mean, John gave us a lot of notes on that last meeting when we were going over them. So I have a lot of UI for him to hit already. But if you have functional items you want him to hit, that's always better to do first. And then he can tidy up the UI afterwards. So no problem. I'm happy to get him over to you.
Okay, yeah. Have him get in touch with me. Send me that list you forwarded to him as well.
Yeah, we'll do. I'll email it to you right now.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Yep, that's all I got.
Ian, while you're here too, and Jerry, you guys looked at that screenshot I sent yesterday. It's in development. It's the Android message. This is a spam, or this is spam. This message is spam.
Oh yeah.
What
Did
the
you
heck?
my analysis on that, John?
Yeah.
I think Jerry's partially right, but there's more to it than that. I'm worried about the phone number.
I was worried too about that.
But this would have probably come from 916. This is not like one of our Twilio numbers, right?
That's right. It was from user to user.
Right. So I think that was Lisa. You said that.
Yeah.
Message. Yeah, that's Lisa.
That does make it right. Should be safer, but it is true. The guy was not in her contacts, but got the spam message. So.
Oh wait. I'm sorry. That means that a person sent a text message to another person, and we didn't utilize Twilio for any component of that.
Right.
This was Lisa sending it to somebody.
Oh my, I misunderstood. Okay, then it's the URL structure.
So
Well, no, sorry. It's a combination of probably the URL structure and the content of the message. Google specifically has implemented a feature on Gmail that I heard I read this in an article a while back. This is probably a year ago. I heard that they were going to be implementing this in messages on Android. What they did on Google was they started implementing more advanced spam features that detect the terminology used in messaging to identify it as likelihood of spam. So if somebody sends you a message, it's like, hey, check out this thing that's on sale. Depending on the wording, Google, of course, with their infinite database of knowledge, effectively says, okay, this type of message and these type of contents get marked as spam most. So we'll use that and effectively build an intelligent algorithm that says if a message contains this type of content, then auto filter it to spam. When they rolled that out with Gmail, I only briefly remember this, but it was there was going to be a tie into how messages work on Android too. So chances are that's what this was, and Jerry was probably right. It's the Android operating system that it's identifying it, not necessarily the carrier, because of the way that we formatted the message. I think it's just too spammy. I mean, like if you read it, it reads kind of
Well,
spammy.
most of the time, though, this would be normally sent between friends who have some communication history. Right?
Yeah, right. But not always. You
Not
know,
always. Well, that's where I came back.
what's spammy about it? It just says add me on Circles.
I hate to say it, but it's just probably only one thing. It's the exclamation point, and the fact that it came with a URL.
Exclamation point.
Yeah, I know this is stupid. I had to work through so many different versions of of an email to get the email to deliver. It was for a client, a web team client. We ended up having to change their email format like 10 times before it stopped delivering to spam. It had to do with the subject line, and then we had asterisks, and part of it was like, caveat, you can only get this if this. And so we removed all of this extra formatting and one word that was all caps, and we got it to deliver successfully. And that was just Google's own built-in algorithm saying, we think this is probably spam. So, yeah, it is annoying.
Is there anything we can do with the link that could be improved?
What I wanted to
It's so good.
for this case, John,
Mhm.
what would really work is the QR code. If maybe
Yeah, true.
if Lisa could have just like showed her phone,
Yeah,
then
sure.
and a QR code, and bam, this would not have happened. Now, as far as the format of the link, I mean, I feel like we could guess. We would have to do a lot of guesses, but I feel like Google's guidelines are probably a black box for good reason.
Yeah, they
Well,
are and
and
they aren't.
there seems to be two different levels of filtering into spam as well, because I was having a problem where the text messages were automatically going into spam. I wasn't even getting a notification that I received it and it might be spam. So it's a little different from what we're seeing in this situation.
Yeah. I'm worried that the URL also does have something to do with it.
I'm confident that the URL is a factor. That what it's tough to repeat this, but in theory, what could have possibly happened is the text message that says add me on Circles may have delivered on its own successfully to the recipient's inbox, but the almost instantaneous follow-up with a URL may have been the action that triggered the entire conversation to migrate into the spam directory on their phone. And
Why is it two different messages? It does appear to be two different messages. It shouldn't be two different messages.
it is definitely two messages based on the screenshot that we're seeing.
Well, usually what I see on messaging apps now, if that there's a URL at the end of the message, it gets broken up into two messages.
Well, it is still one message that is delivered to the phone, but the phone's operating system visually breaks it into two. And I think the only time it does that is when it intelligently converts the link to an image.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
maybe if there wasn't an image attached to this, you know what I mean? Like we have that invite link image. It's like a ticket, movie stub ticket kind of thing.
Well,
Maybe if that wasn't there.
Well, the for the preview card, that's what I was going to get to. Is that because this was this was classified as spam, they're not going to show a preview image, and also because it's from an unknown sender, I'm going to say there's some security in there that they're not going to show the ticket if they believe there to be a risk in the message for spam or something.
Yeah, we should test this a few more times. Todd, you have some iPhones and some Androids we can test with. Can you go ahead?
So there's one other thought that I just had. Who was the person who sent this link?
Lisa.
Can we have Lisa specifically send this exact same invite to one or two of Todd's Android test phones that doesn't have her contact information stored?
Yeah, well,
Because
I'll do that too. But go ahead.
I was going to say, just maybe her phone number was reported at some point in the past.
It's possible. So let's start with Todd. If you have an iPhone and you go to the people finder screen, press the green button for a message.
Yeah.
Just enter a phone number of an Android that has not that does not have has never messaged with that with that iPhone.
Okay. Give me a few minutes.
Okay. I'm curious if you get the same message. I didn't even really read this that close yesterday. So it says to open it anyway, close this alert and tap not spam. I wonder if he did that. I should ask him to do that.
Oh yeah, not spam is probably like hidden behind the modal. If I had to
Yeah,
guess.
it is. I would hope he did it, and maybe if we do that a few more times, it like frees up or like whitelists us. Maybe is that possible?
Well, I feel like this would probably just be Lisa's number that would get whitelisted.
But it's gonna also look at this URL, right?
I couldn't
Yeah.
tell you with full certainty. Ian, I don't know if
Yeah.
you have an idea, but I feel like this is kind of like a
I
black.
I would guess that the URL plays a role. And so, and the fact that they're even giving the option to mark as not spam means they're using that data in some way to make another, like a future determination. So, yeah, the question is it strictly for that particular user's phone, Lisa's phone in this case? Or is
It
it?
depends. That's one of the things that falls under the oh god, I forget what it's called. It's like when you onboard your phone initially, when you get a brand new phone out of the box and you set it up, and it says, "Do you want to help Google with improving analytics and blah blah blah?" That's one of those items that's included. Same thing with iOS. When you allow analytics to be shared with the company, then that content will go back to them and they'll provide it. Otherwise, it's private.
Mhm. Maybe they wouldn't even give you this message.
I think you would get this regardless of whether or not you shared analytics. It's just what it does after that that matters. Like, so if like I share analytics with Apple, so if I report something as spam, they know that and they use that for other iOS devices. But I know a lot of people don't. That's a feature many people turn off. So at minimum, we could say confidently that it would change the experience of the user who received the text, but not necessarily everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're right that the URL absolutely has to do with it. I think that if like for example, if Lisa sent a text message to this same person that just said, "Add me on Circles," I bet it would have been delivered, or at least I think there's a high probability it would have been delivered with that issue.
Yeah.
Now, was this in their Was this in the recipient spam box, or was it like just in their SMS, like their SMS lobby?
It was received as an SMS because you can see the message.
Yeah. So when they just clicked it, there was that spam notice at the top, but nothing else.
Yeah. Well, their message is down below it with the link.
Mhm.
So,
I see. I don't know how Android like classifies spam. I don't think put it in a different folder or anything, but
well, they
So
can't.
I was able to from the iPhone send the SMS to an Android, and it did not get reported as spam or identified as spam. Just came through normally as you'd expect.
I wonder if
have the number in the contacts or anything. It's like the very first message you've ever sent from there.
Let me double check. Thank you for reminding me.
send me a
And
screenshot. Looks like
yeah.
too.
yeah, you got it.
I could also send a message to that phone. I'm sure.
Yeah, no, this is the only message I've ever had with this phone. These two phones together.
Okay. Don't send a screenshot yet, but message me that phone number. I'll also send a link
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
with the Android. Send me the Android phone number. Okay. Let's keep moving on. We can come back a little to this.
Harry, I sent you that list for Ad, by the way, and he just pushed the final change I needed for field 3, so he's all yours whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay. So let's go to Amine and get an update, please.
Yeah, sure. Friday, finished up working on the save, the videos and images for chat, photos for chat. It was in
It's
the
Windows 37.
yeah, it was in the latest build. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Also, we fixed that issue with the contacts. Like if you allowed permission, if you allowed contacts permission and you only allowed like three because that's all you had before. It was showing you the prompt to enable to share all your contacts where it should like list those three contacts in the next screen to follow. So that was fixed too. And that fixed too the other issue you were having with resyncing button. So if you press the resync button in the SOT, it should take you back to to import the contacts again. That was fixed also in the latest build. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure if you guys got to test that or not, but it's in the latest build.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so today I'll be working on like it's a mix of all issues, but they're all like about the friend connect that we were talking about like Friday, Tuesday.
yeah.
Might need backend from Jerry and might have some questions. So yeah,
Mhm.
I'll be working on that. Like on my notes here is like
Before you dive into that, we take a look. There's some minor ones I put in development, like the follow button on that list of people I added to a chat. I shouldn't have even seen that list, actually. Because I'm following all of them.
mm, okay,
Maybe maybe that's more simple to correct.
okay, I
Jerry,
can look into it.
suggestion. Yeah, what was the suggestion, Jerry? If it was respecting the from or the what were you saying there?
Um, you're talking about for the like the adding to chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a relationship field, and I believe that's what Ismail was. I asked him to look at when you're adding the user. So a possibility for a relation could be friend, like is friend of. So if you're a friend, that means you're already following them. So we want to make sure that case is excluded.
Hmm. Okay, maybe it's not there. So oh yeah, let me see.
Okay. Hopefully it's a quick fix. While you're looking at that, I mean, Wells, will you look at the other
I think you're good out, John.
but maybe you worked on it where the actually probably it was Amine. But I got stuck, or Lisa got stuck actually on the screen I put in development. There was no it just didn't continue the flow. I have a
In which
theory. If you look in the development chat,
okay, we'll look into it. As you said.
okay. I have a theory, and maybe Jerry, you could help me with this theory. I have a theory that a slow internet connection maybe caused the flow to get interrupted.
Is it the video you sent in development?
It's not a video, it's just a screenshot. The bourbon O bar, we were checking in there. She favorited it. And
Yeah,
it,
Bourbon Bar. See,
it didn't continue moving past the screen. I don't think she even had the forward button. That's the problem. The forward button wasn't there.
oh
Yes.
really?
I had that once in Wells. Remember, I talked to you about that one time, and it happened to me once. I couldn't reproduce it, and then I believe you tried to look at it, couldn't reproduce it, But
Exactly.
it could be connection related.
I'm not sure. I remember we looked into this, and even though we could not reproduce it, we tried a solution that would make it so the button should come if there was an error in the animation. So perhaps, yeah, let's try the error in the connection next, and see if perhaps I can reproduce it that way. But from what I remember looking into it, I couldn't find exactly where to point for actually saying this is the reason for the next not coming in.
Okay. Is there a way to test with a weak internet connection and see if it happens again? How about just turn off the internet connection right before that stage and see if
Yeah.
it recreates it?
Will do.
Okay, try that and let me know how that goes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks. And then let me know when you.
Yeah, I found that code, that line of code. So here is the one like if that uh Jerry is doing, if that relationship is not equal to is following. So
Mhm.
I think we should be adding is not equal to is following or friend of.
Correct.
Okay. Or friend of, yeah. Because that's the problem, right? Because we're friends. It wasn't looking at the friendship. It was just the following it was looking at.
Correct.
Ah, that makes sense. Okay. So fairly easy fix, huh?
Yeah.
Cool. Those are always good. When you're done with that, Amine, there was another thing in development. I think it's in your wheelhouse as well.
Okay. Was it?
It's the next one down in development. I was trying to share a screen record into Circles, into the chat, but it didn't open the chat.
Oh.
It had the app icon on the drawer,
Mm-hmm.
but then just like didn't open the app for me.
It did not open the app at all.
No, you can
Okay.
see it in the screen record.
Yeah, I'm looking at the screen record. That's weird.
The drawer just drops down.
Okay, I have to test this and see what's going on there. 'Cause it's weird though. At least it should just open the app because
Mhm.
at that point, like we don't control like what's going on there. Because
Mhm.
it's all the system, all iOS. It knows Circles. It just should open Circles for you.
I wonder if it had something to do with preparing the video. If you see that loader that's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me look into that and see what's going on.
Okay, I didn't try with an image. Um,
I think
let me
maybe
try.
the video is long and something there broke.
That could be it too. Is there a limit on how big the video can be?
No, we don't that in that place. So yeah, I will need to look into it and see what's going on
Okay, sounds good. And then you were going to look at the onboarding or the
there. The phone's connected.
friend connect. Thank you, friend connect.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay. Anything else?
No, that's all.
All right, thank you. Let's go to Wells.
Yes, sir. So two PRs approved and merged. One of them regarding the clickable area of the open now and closed hours. And the other PR that is merged is regarding the game profile. So the share trust tip, the share button, everything there should be looking as we see in other cards. So that will probably come out in future builds for me to take a look at. Pretty good stuff. And right now, besides the what you just asked me to investigate regarding the favorite flow, I am also investigating other issue that John pointed out to me, which is there is a, model that pops when the user did not uh, allow permission when they go to search for places. And after like getting that screen, the user is not allowed to move out of the screen without actually allowing permissions. So I am investigating that, seeing how to reproduce it and how to
Is that the
um
one with the location permission?
yeah, with the one with the location permission.
Yep, gotcha.
Yeah, and looking into how to get the user and start from there.
Okay, that'll be good. Yeah, I think it's like kind of a feed stuck loop for the user.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that.
Okay, and what else?
Yeah, and I think that is pretty much it. Let me see my notes here. Yeah, the images that Jerry um, brought the idea of changing to MP is done. Mainly
What was
also
what was it?
done. Sorry,
Which images?
the map pins. Also, by the way, that is in the latest build, I believe. So if you go on the map and you see this stuff there and there's no issues, then that's good.
Okay. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's working.
Yep. And next, I will change the mentoring grid API for the new one that in the future will contain the videos. So first we will just swap to the new API, and then in the future we are gonna handle more information coming there.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Great. What else?
Yeah, I think that's it on my end.
All right.
But yeah, and I also just changed some text also and other stuff. Mainly everything you requested in our chat is done, besides the location model thing.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I gotta head to the airport. I'll catch a flight here in a couple hours. I do want to stay in touch though throughout the day, just on some progress on some things. I may have some questions on some other stuff as well, Jerry, for some ideas I had around chat and things like that for groups. But I can message you on Slack.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Ian, can
Sounds
you
good.
stay working with Ari and see if we can get the core testing?
Yeah, I already messaged Ari. I'm just waiting on a response. And I'll keep in touch. The
Great.
as soon as I had to have I had fix one thing from the push that he just did, so probably 5 more minutes, Jerry, and then good timing. He's going to be all yours. Just let me know what you guys need, if anything, from me. I sent you that list of everything that he's supposed to be working on. So if you guys end up communicating through Slack, Jerry, just keep me in the loop on those messages.
Sweet. Alrighty.
Cool.
Chantel, where did we leave off on that People Finder improved screen? Do I have the latest design?
I believe so. Let me see what is in Slack versus what's in Figma. One sec.
When that's done, I think we might be pretty close. I'm going to have Amine look at that when he's done with what he's working on.
Yes, you have the latest version.
Okay, let me take a look real quick.
And then I also have a flow to it, a few flows for it.
Oh yeah,
Several.
good. Yeah, there would be like a drawer.
Yeah,
Right.
there's the drawer for the QR code, the sync contacts button, add by phone number, the
Mhm.
toast, all that jazz.
Mm-hmm. This looks good though. Easy to navigate. Yeah, send me those supplemental screens too.
Okie doke.
Mhm. By phone number, I suppose. So that just open the SMS window and you type in the phone number? Or how do you have it, Chantal? Do you have it as a Is there a bridge screen like where you enter the contact first?
So it looks like the way that we had it is that as the person was typing in the number, if there was a phone number that matched, that person would show up. But if we don't find them in circles, you can, would you
That
like
makes-
to add and invite them? And you can do add a contact. And
Okay.
then that would open up the SMS. I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, send me those screens. And then I think we have some screens also for like if you haven't shared contacts, maybe there's like a sync contact button.
Yep, I've got
Yeah,
all that.
I don't think I have that one. Okay, cool. And let's see what else. I think that's it for now. So I'll take a look at that and let you know if I have any input. Okay, cool. All right, then I'm gonna go up and start heading over to the airport and just ping me if anyone needs me, and I'll be in touch as well.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good.
Have a good day, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Safe
See ya.
travel.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks, guys.